So you're likely here because you're exploring some new possibilities. Maybe a big decision is on the horizon.
Mm.
And what you really need, I think, is clear, reliable information, a path forward.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it maybe like looking at a major expansion or even moving into a totally new area. The very first thing is, well, you need to understand the landscape, right? What are the fundamentals? What are the key operational bits?
Absolutely. And that's really the heart of what we want to explore today. We're going to unpack some of those really essential questions that pop up when you're facing these kinds of pivotal moments.
Uh-huh. And the goal here is to show how, a structured way of thinking about these basic questions can bring a lot of clarity and confidence too, even when things seem really intricate or complex.
We'll be digging into several key areas, really the groundwork you need for making choices you feel good about. So let's just dive right in. First big question. Where do we even start trying to get a handle on the whole picture?
That's the crucial first step. It's like, imagine a business considering expanding into a new country. Their first question is often pretty basic. What are the rules? Can we even operate there?
Right.
But the answer is rarely just a simple yes or no. It's usually more like, yes, and here's exactly how that works. It's got layers.
And that how part is so critical, isn't it? It's not
Hmm.
just knowing it's possible, but really grasping the specific ways, the mechanisms that make it happen.
Exactly. So in that international expansion example you mentioned, it might mean understanding, say, foreign ownership laws, maybe specific trade agreements are relevant, or the types of legal structures you can use.
Mm.
Like, in some markets, foreign companies might need local partners, or they operate in special economic zones,
Mhm.
or use certain corporate setups. It's interesting how a seemingly simple question opens up all these operational and legal things you need to consider,
Yeah.
and things like, visual aids, like charts comparing different market entry strategies or diagrams showing how partnerships work. Those
Right.
can be super helpful.
Makes sense to make it digestible.
Yeah, because people often assume direct ownership is the only way, but the reality is often, well, more nuanced. There are usually options.
Okay, so we've got that foundation, the yes, and here's how it works. The next logical step in is looking at the practical side. What are the really crucial processes we need to get our heads around to make this real?
Right. So this takes our hypothetical business to the next level. They might say, okay, a local partnership sounds like a possibility, but what does that actually involve?
What are the nuts and bolts?
Exactly. This is where we dig into the essential processes, like what goes into a partnership agreement? What's a legal framework? Who does what? What about IP, intellectual property? How do you handle disagreements if they come up?
So it's really about demystifying those key operational steps, not just knowing a partnership is an option, but understanding the actual tasks, the critical parts of the agreement.
Precisely. And having resources like maybe a detailed checklist, something like key things to include in your international partnership agreement, that can be incredibly valuable.
Yeah, helps make sure you've covered all the bases.
For sure. You don't miss crucial stuff.
Okay, so falling from understanding the basics and the core processes, the next question that just sort of naturally comes up is,
Hmm.
who do we need helping us? Who needs to be on our team to navigate this effectively?
Yeah, that's a big one. The business might then wonder, okay, do we need local lawyers on the ground there, or can our current legal team manage this? This is where understanding the specific type of expertise needed is really essential.
Right, because they're different roles.
Exactly. It's about knowing what different experts do. Your in-house team, they know your business inside out, which is great. But navigating, say, international law often needs that specific local know-how, someone who understands the local regulations, the permits, the
And
licenses.
maybe even the cultural stuff, business practices.
Absolutely, all those nuances. So having a clear comparison, maybe a chart showing what each type of advisor brings to the table, that helps you make smart decisions about who to bring in.
So it's not just who is involved, but really understanding their specific skills and how they help you reach your goal, which naturally, I guess, leads to another fundamental piece. The money. What are the real costs? Like all the costs, no surprises.
Yes. Clarity here is absolutely non-negotiable, our business example.
Yeah.
They'll definitely worry about the initial investment and ongoing costs, taxes in the new market, any hidden fees or potential surprises down the line.
Yeah, nobody likes those.
No. So a clear picture of the financials is just paramount for good planning.
And this isn't just the big number at the top, is it? It's breaking it all down, like setup fees, local taxes, maybe tariffs, shipping costs. getting realistic projections for everything.
Exactly. So you have a really clear financial picture up front. Things like a detailed financial model template specifically for this kind of expansion. That can be incredibly valuable.
Gives you that clarity.
Yes, understanding these costs like a local would, basically, helps avoid those nasty budget blowouts later.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, one last fundamental question that always seems to come up. What kind of time frame should we expect? How long is this whole thing likely to take?
Yes, the timeline question. Understandably, the business needs to know. How long from starting the planning to actually being operational in the new market? Managing expectations around timing is just critical for keeping the project on track.
You need that realistic roadmap.
Totally. A step-by-step breakdown of the project timeline. From the initial research and checking things out, all the way through setting up shop locally and actually starting to generate revenue. That's incredibly helpful.
And visualizing it probably helps too.
Oh, definitely. A visual timeline, maybe even a sort of project management roadmap, can give everyone a clear overview of the whole process and how long each bit might take.
Okay, so we've kind of walked through those initial, really fundamental questions. Understanding the basic rules, the key processes, who you need to help, the real costs, and the timeline. It seems pretty clear that when you're heading into unfamiliar territory, you really need structured, insightful guidance.
And, that process we just described, taking these common questions, breaking them down, providing really clear, actionable answers, that's exactly the value a good strategic partnership brings to the table. It's about getting ahead of those fundamental questions, addressing them proactively, building that foundation of trust and confidence right from the very beginning.
So it lets you focus on what you do best.
Precisely. This approach means you can focus on your core strengths, your main business, while your partner provides the clarity and direction needed to handle the complexities.
It's really about equipping you, the listener, with the knowledge and the insights needed to make decisions confidently, feeling supported and strategically positioned through the whole journey.
Absolutely. Think about it. Just like carefully breaking down those questions gives clarity to a business moving into a new market.
So a final thought to leave you with. Understanding those fundamental questions, getting clear on complex processes.
Yeah.
It isn't just about finding the answers yourself. It's really about forging the right partnership to guide you towards success.